Welcome to the Tom Bernard Podcast with the family with
co-host Catherine Brand,
Alex Brand Bernard Rasmussen,
Andy Brand Bernard,
and Kristen Burt.
Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Right out of the chute, Kristen Burt, I have to ask you a question. Catherine and I, and this is a show that's been on for 6 years. I've never heard of it. What was that thing called we were watching last night?
Oh, great.
Oh, my
Why
God.
do you ask me
you can
these
never
questions?
remember anything you watch.
You should write it down when you watch it.
Well, what the
Little
hell?
notes, little Post-it notes.
We sample a lot of shows, and sometimes we just kind of don't watch them again, so it's easy to forget about them. Yeah, what was it about, dear? It was based on an Australian series
yes.
about a family that
They're all criminals.
they're all criminals. This kid, their daughter split from the family, had this child. She died of a drug overdose.
Yes.
And then went to live with this crime family.
Grandma, who is, what's her name again?
They call her Ellen Barkin's
Ellen
in it.
Barkin's in it.
You'll be able to find it. It's been on for 6 years.
Is that Underbelly?
I don't think so.
Is she in it?
Let's see here.
Underbelly.
I think it's fairly recent and based on an Australian.
Animal Kingdom?
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
Animal
I've
Kingdom.
never even heard of it.
Yeah, it went for 6 years. It ended 3 years ago, but it was. I've never heard of this
Never
either.
heard of it.
6 seasons and none of us have ever heard
It
of
must
it.
not have gotten great
But 6
response.
seasons?
I think I've heard of it. I've never seen
Have
it,
you?
but I've heard of it.
It's nasty. It's
It's
very
really-
nasty
Well,
show.
the name of it
Yeah.
Animal
kind
Kingdom.
of implies probably not.
Yeah, it's I don't recognize I do recognize the Psycho brother, and I recognize Ellen Barkin. Otherwise I didn't recognize anybody
No, I
else
didn't
in
either.
it.
Oh, MB in the chat knew what you're talking about. So there's at least one other person who's watched
There's
this.
one other person. It was on TNT. That's probably why nobody really knew what it
Yeah.
was. Because
That's
TNT and
Let's
not
see.
his cable channel was...
Who's in it? I have never heard of any of these names except Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin, yep.
The guy that played the woman that overdosed, her twin brother. I know I've seen him before.
Yeah.
He's got really dark brown sort of dead eyes.
He does. He does.
He plays a good
Well-
psychopath. I'm pretty sure he's played a psychopath in some other shows.
Would this be Sean?
He could be a
Is
Sean.
that the character's
Could be.
name?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, that's
I'd
the
have to look at it.
Sean is the actor's name. Is it Andrew Pope Cody? Because the woman
Let me
Ellen
look
Barkin
up.
is Janine, but she's not the one who died.
No.
Andrew Pope Cody.
Could be.
Andrew Pope.
There you have it. Well, they're looking it up, Kristen Bird. I have to tell you, wise move. Not living here anymore. I got up this morning, put on a shirt and shorts.
Yes.
Went out for a walk. It was about 90 below, for Christ's
Okay,
sake.
it's not 90
like
below.
60
The-
degrees.
The
It is
low
not
is
anywhere near 60 degrees.
the low is
It's
52
55.
and right now it's 56. So
But
90
your blood
below
thins
is
when you live in warm climates.
Yeah,
I know.
sure does.
Because 60 degrees when I lived in Minnesota, I would put on like short sleeves. 60
Yeah.
degrees in Los Angeles, I have got a scarf wrapped around my neck.
The wind off the lake today was so cold, it,
really
was
was.
unbearable. My God, it was cold.
And it was Andrew Pope Cody. That's the one I'm thinking of. I
That
think
is
he played
okay.
another psychopath in something else.
another psychopath.
Hey, let's get him. He's a psychopath. That's nice.
He's just
a nice
he can
touch.
get this look on his face where you're just like, what's he gonna do next? He's kind of scary.
Some people are typecast.
Yes.
Animal Kingdom, and it's on. Well, you just watched
You
it
said
on.
TNT. It's on.
Well, TNT originally,
Originally.
but where are you guys watching it now? Did you watch it on Netflix
Who
or
knows?
Prime or
I don't
even
Roku?
know.
You know, you guys watch a lot of Roku.
No, not up here because we don't have Roku up here.
We have Roku up here.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. I watch it
Okay.
every day.
Well, you're talking about the Roku channel, which is a streamer.
Roku channel.
Yes.
Oh, that Roku,
That's-
you mean?
Yeah, they
Their own
have it.
thing.
It's available on Netflix. So if anyone wants to watch it, you will see it there. And it looks like Prime Video also has it.
Oh, this Andrew Pope Cody guy is in the pit, so there
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, you
Okay.
guys watch The Pit. That's right.
He's Dr. Jack Abbott.
Jack Abbott.
All right. Well, anyway, Ellen Barkin looks like she's had a lot of work done.
I mean,
Looks
isn't she relatively old? Yeah, she's 71.
She's 71.
Mhm.
Oh, wherever she goes, I should find out because she looks great.
There's not a lot of actors who keep acting in their 70s.
Yeah,
Although
that's
it's
If
true.
everyone, it's Dr. Levine. If everyone's looking to get the very
Yeah.
subtle
Well, that's
in New
it?
York City, by the way,
Okay.
and I believe his wait list is like 3 years right now because he's doing those subtle, like it looks like you just took a beautiful nap and you just woke up 20 years younger.
There's somebody in Miami that's doing that too. They advertise on Instagram all the time. They
Yeah, they
call
do.
it they don't put people under.
That sounds
It's
horrible.
anesthesia-free facelifts.
This you need to be under for. This is like so deep that they are working every
yeah.
little muscle, and they won't. They don't. This guy doesn't need to advertise. Let's just put it this way:
Right.
it's word
Yeah.
of mouth
Right.
to get onto this
Yeah.
guy's list.
Wow.
Like I've heard of him, and I don't have any interest in plastic
I don't
surgery.
know who
so.
that is.
An awake facelift. Yeah, they local anesthesia and sedation. That sounds awful.
Is that like
Yeah.
booze? You just drink a lot of booze?
Well, they
and then
give
go
you,
in?
yeah,
I
they give you
mean,
something,
Kind of.
but they just don't put you
Laughing
under.
gas.
Well,
they
you
give
don't have to.
Valium or similar.
You don't have to have. I mean, anesthesia is usually the most dangerous part of surgery.
Yes,
So-
yes, it is.
I have
But
to
for a
mention this.
deep plane facelift, you definitely need anesthesia.
Oh, absolutely. Very quickly, I got to mention something because I wasn't going to bring it up, but it keeps happening every week. I run into about 20 people a week that say, "When are you going to get back on the radio?" And I said, "Well, we have the podcast." "Yeah, I know. I listen to the podcast, but you should be on both." I'm like, "Well, I talked
Life's-
to all three of the.
Life's too short, people.
I worked with. I talked
And
to.
who's
Well,
listening to the radio?
Yeah.
well, that's their question.
Those people.
Well, you just found out that one of the salespeople that have been at KQ since before you just
Nick
retired.
Yeah, Nick Busalis retired.
You wouldn't be retiring if things were good, I bet.
I'm sure that's true, but they said, for some reason, they do listen to this podcast and have a good time. Well, this young woman, she, honest to God, I was at Lunds and Byerly's in Wayzata, and this young woman, was a very nice woman. She looked to be maybe 35, 40, something like that, maybe, yeah, probably not even 40. But she actually kind of teared up. That's why I'm bringing this up today. She actually got teary-eyed because I said, I've talked to all the three major companies and I haven't heard back, so I guess I won't be on the radio ever again. Whatever.
Well, yeah, I have to realize that you were such a part of people's daily grind.
Well, that's true.
You know, you were on the radio, on the way to work, on the way to school. Their dads listened, their moms listened, everybody listened,
Yeah.
and it just was such a part of their lives.
I will be honest with you. That's the one sad thing, Kristen, about this, is I'm being told by pretty much everybody in the business, it's only got about 2-3 more years. That's about it. Which is really
With
sad.
AI, I don't disagree, and I hate
Yeah.
I hate the whole aspect of it. Honestly,
I know.
You know?
Oh, did we talk about AI last week with you?
we did, yes, just
I
a little
thought so.
bit, but
frequently.
yeah.
Because I was watching television and I heard myself do a commercial, but it wasn't me. It was my voice, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, and that's why I said you need to be recording these things
Yes.
and talking to SAG. So
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
you have to find out about who that.
you need to open up a case with SAG. You need to find out who
Yeah.
the company is and everything else because they can go after any of the companies doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty. The Moog synthesizer, I think, was the first time they were able to. That's not anywhere near. I mean, that's an old venue there, but it's just you cannot tell it's not me.
It's so creepy.
What are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, got to
Saving a lot of
start
money,
that
bro.
log. Start that log of who's doing it and when it's happening, and you'll have a nice check in your mailbox soon.
Tom starting a log. That's funny.
Oh, she's laughing. Laugh it up, sister. Why don't we take a break here and come back and hear from Kristen Burt what's really important going on right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Pally?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Let's talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. Look, it's easy to feel like just another account number at the big national banks, but that's not how it works with my friends at North American Banking Company. Whether you're visiting their locations in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, or Maple Grove, you'll always find real people you know by name and actually care about your finances, not some AI chatbot. They also offer all the modern conveniences you expect, like online and mobile banking, but with a personal touch that only a community bank can offer. So why settle for less when you can bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Oh, look at Alex's picture. Really? Is that your picture, Alex?
What is that? Oh, ballerinas.
Ballerinas,
yes.
Not that she's here.
Not that she's even in studio right now, but
Oh, she's here somewhere.
it's true.
I'm bribing the grandkids into cleaning up the podcast studio.
Good move.
I'm paying them.
Oh, you're paying them? Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Uh-oh.
So, Kristen Burt, what's going on in entertainment?
Kristen
Oh,
is
Kristen
muted.
is muted.
I'm not muted.
There we go.
Oh, no,
There you
no,
go,
you're
sorry.
fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're up.
I'm like, I'm not muted.
You were
I went to see Hugh Jackman on Saturday
Oh,
night.
that's right. How was that?
The Hollywood Bowl. It was very fun. I would say it was kind of interesting because he's always known to be like the, musical theater guy / actor / everything. And I was like, you know what he is? He's an entertainer. His voice is good.
Yeah.
He can carry a tune, but where he really shines, his banter with the audience, the interaction. And if anyone's ever been to the Hollywood Bowl, the stage it's called the pool circle, and there's a set of tables, but around the pool circle, there's like a whole bridge or an extended stage where the entertainers can come out and perform. And he went into the audience. He was joking. He was really funny. And I was like, that is where he shines. That's where everyone just absolutely loves him. Really leaned into The Greatest Showman, which I'm sure Alex would be happy to hear about. And The Music Man, which he just did the revival on Broadway. The Hollywood Bowl Orchestra was amazing. They did fireworks. It was a whole shebang because it was the opening night for the Hollywood Bowl season.
Fun.
There. So he's good. You liked it.
He was great. Yeah, it was so much fun. I think I was expecting a little bit more. Hearing his voice live, I was like, oh, I think they sweeten his vocals a little bit when he does movie musicals. Not out of tune or anything, but just
Right.
like a good performer, not like a great Broadway performer, if that makes sense. Like,
it does.
because then you go and watch the Tonys the next night and you hear the people who really are like the full
That can
vocalist.
belt it out.
That can belt it out, that can hit every note. And the Tonys were amazing last night to see the 10-year reunion of Hamilton, to see George Clooney with his hair color back because his hair's been all black. Has everyone seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he looks very strange because we've seen him with salt and pepper hair for so long. But Good Night and Good Luck was live on CNN and Max on Saturday night. And
That's
that was
right.
also the closing night. And then Sunday was the Tonys. And miraculously, his hair was back to its salt and pepper. So he looks like George Clooney again.
He's not a very nice person, is he?
I think that he is. I think he has everyone on pissed off. Let's just put it that way. I think he's pissed off Republicans in the past, and I think he has a lot of Democrats pissed at him. And he weirdly thinks that he's very self-important when it comes to politics.
He
does.
Nobody thinks he's important.
He really does. And look, kid, you got the door opened by Rosemary Clooney, so you might show a little gratitude, maybe, huh?
Yeah, and his dad was also a well-known broadcaster, Nick Clooney. So,
Right, Nick Clooney.
he's had a charmed life in terms
Yes.
of that, a great career with ER. He did Facts of Life before that. And I wasn't surprised when he did not win the Tony last night. So I was like, okay, I don't think he's going to win. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, I hope he loses.
Oh, gee.
And sure enough, that happened. So you really see the anti-Clooney sentiment right now. And I don't think it matters what political party you subscribe to.
No.
I think people are getting sick of legacies and people who won't go away too.
Yeah, there's a lot of fatigue.
Yes, absolutely.
I think social media has definitely brought on a lot of fatigue.
Like I used to really like Jack Black, but now when I hear he's in something, I'm like, oh my god, again.
Same thing. It's the same.
Although
act.
I will tell you, Jack Black, great reputation in the industry, considered one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah, he's a good person. I hear. It's just like, does he need to be in literally everything? They're going to make an MLK documentary, and he's going to play him.
Well, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, remember how many times has there been a supermodel that just could? I mean, every time you watch,
Yeah.
opened up anything, they're supermodel, and then it's always the same.
Yep.
Just
You know
get
what happens though
drenched.
too, and this is kind of the nature of the business right now, is that like Nicole Kidman, I'm kind of tired of seeing her on every
Yes.
single TV show.
Yep.
Yes.
This is the thing, like she's obviously very wealthy and earned a lot of her fortune in film, but now she's working in TV because that's where the stories for women in their 50s are being told. But it's 8 episodes. It's not 22 episodes.
Right.
So if she wants to make her money, she's got to do 3 or 4 television series to make that same amount of money.
Yeah, yep. That makes it. You know, I got to, before you move on to another subject, you did this to me. It's stuck in my head, so I got to get rid of it. You're talking about Hugh Jackman, that he had a decent voice, but not great. When I was about 4 years old, so this will not hit home with many people, on the I Love Lucy show, Lucy walked to William Frawley. What was it? What was the name of that family again? The Mertzes. The Mertzes. Yeah, Fred Mertz is what he played. But William Frawley as Fred Mertz. She walks into his apartment and he doesn't know she's behind him, and he's I don't know, cooking something, whatever. And he goes, "I won't dance, don't ask me." It's like, oh my God. It's like, William,
I
don't
promise
sing.
you, Hugh Jackman sang way better than
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
I mean, it was just hideously horrible.
Well, probably on purpose.
On purpose,
funny.
I'm sure, yes.
Yeah, and a shout out to one of your listeners, Kelly Ivory. She was very excited to hear about how Hugh Jackman was. She works at the Excel Center part time, she said, and gets to see a lot of concerts. So
Oh,
she
nice.
was very
Good family,
excited
by the
that.
way.
Yes.
It is a good
And
guy.
Alex, were you able to watch the Tonys last night?
No.
Oh, you need to watch the anniversary reunion of Hamilton. Just even watch that clip. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I remembered that was happening. But yeah, Dan came home from a camping trip and the kids, and there was just too much happening.
I thought he
and
was a lumberjacking trip.
It was camping, lumberjacking,
Well, there
mountain
you go.
biking.
What is
There was a lot.
lumberjack?
A wilderness trip.
It was a wilderness explorer trip.
There you
You should
go.
see my
Yeah.
basement. It's just covered in like things drying out, like tents
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh, they have
Oh,
a
that
lot of
good,
rain
like,
up there?
musty,
Yes.
like
Oh, they had a
wet
lot of rain. Oh, that's too
forest
bad.
smell.
yes.
Yes.
So my entire basement's just covered. Our treadmill, our Peloton,
bet it
the
smells good,
doors.
too.
It's lovely.
Bringing the outdoors in is always
It's
smelly.
musty.
Lovely.
And if anyone who wants to watch a replay of the Tony Awards, they're available on Paramount Plus, and of course you can see any clips. Cynthia Erivo was also the host and was incredible.
Oh, I bet she was amazing.
Yeah, she didn't do like how usually the opening numbers of the Tonys, it's that flashy song and dance, and
Yeah.
they use all of Radio City Music Hall. It was just vocals with her on the opening and closing number, and it was to die for.
Well,
it was
she's
so
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's amazing.
She
So
is.
no crabby political messages once they got up in the dais?
Not really. I mean,
good.
a couple
Glad to
people
hear it.
mentioned Pride Month, which is kind of expected in terms
Yeah.
of the
The
theater
Tonys.
community, but really didn't hear anything else. People were really just kind of focusing in on the message of theater, and I think that theater had a good year. So I think that they're hoping. It's been a tough 5 years for the Broadway
Yeah.
community, and I think that they're hoping that this continues. And an original show also won. For best musical instead of some type of jukebox musical, which is just recycled music.
Right.
It was nice to see that an original musical was able to shine
Good.
this season.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful thing. I got to be honest with you. Why are the Tonys called the Tonys?
Oh,
Antoine Perry was their
Antoine
name
Perry.
after.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. I remember now.
And
I was
who
like,
is
I'm sure I get the name
Antoine
right.
Perry?
yes.
Yes, I looked that up. I was like, look up, 'cause I don't know, but Antoine Perry is who it's named after.
Antoine.
Let's see here. Google has been really awful lately.
Oh.
Like very, very slow. Antoinette Perry.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
It's a woman?
Apparently, yes.
Antoinette.
Actress, director Antoinette Perry.
No.
All right, well, who are you? She was born in 1888, so it's a
Well.
while ago.
Oh boy.
Still alive. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, very nice.
How's he
Very
special?
nice.
Let's see. Yeah, she was just apparently a big deal theater girl, lady, whatever.
Good lady.
woman.
Love a girl lady.
Co-founder and secretary of the American Theater Wing, whatever that is.
The American Theater Wing is the one who puts on the Tonys, so that makes sense.
I don't know how old she was when she was in theater. She could have been a girl. It looks like she was. Yeah, she started performing at 11.
There you go.
So
that's
yes,
cool.
she was a theater girl.
So
Look at
Tony
us.
Awards were founded by a female. Good
I'm
to
sure
know.
were.
We love that.
Right.
The other thing over the weekend, I had a million events. I had a Poker Face event. I had a Mid-Century Modern event. The Mid-Century Modern event I went to on Saturday morning was for, an Emmys FYC for your consideration. But the series, which is on Hulu, it's a multicam sitcom, like kind of old-fashioned feeling, when you sit there and watch some of the setup and the jokes and everything, but with Nathan Lane and Matthew Bomer. But they talked about, it was really interesting, they talked about how they had to pivot ahead of finishing up the season because Linda Lavin, who played Nathan Lane's mother in the
Right.
series, she passed away. She got diagnosed like the first week of December, and she was gone by December 29th.
Oh my
Linda
God.
Lavin, really? I
Yes.
loved her.
What did she get
So they
diagnosed
came-
with?
Lung cancer.
Oh my God.
And it was so far along. And so the creators of the show decided, like, well, hey, let's talk to the family and see how they want this to happen. Ryan Murphy's also an executive producer on the show. And Ryan Murphy was like, don't make her death the last episode of the season. Make it the penultimate episode. That way you can show that the world still moves on without Linda Lavin and how
Yeah.
people are dealing with it. And then in consulting Linda Lavin's family, they got the blessing to sort of give Linda's last moments of what actually happened become part of the dialogue in the show. And so it's funny and touching and endearing and sad and emotional all at once. So highly recommend going and watching all 10 episodes on Hulu, but episodes 9 and 10 are really incredible television.
Where did she break through? Because I always really liked Linda Lavin.
Alice is where I know her
Alice,
from.
there you go. Yeah, Alice.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good.
There was an after party after the Q&A, by the way, and they played the Alice theme. Like they did like a DJ remix of it while they were serving brunch. And it was actually kind of sweet. It was like a really nice tribute to Linda Lavin.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she looked fabulous, by the way. When you see her on screen in the first 8 episodes, you would have no idea that she was ill. She looked incredible.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Always liked her. It's one of those. Maybe it's my fault because I liked her.
Probably.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did it.
Killed
makes-
her.
that
Or
makes total
possibly
sense.
she grew up in the era of cigarettes. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
I mean,
she was
yeah.
a smoker back in the day.
Let me ask you all a question because I'm seeing more and more young people smoking again.
I see
Vaping is really
vaping, but I
big.
don't see
Yeah,
smoking.
vaping. Yeah.
I see actual
Vaping.
cigarettes in their hand. I don't. I'm surprised
I
at
Yeah.
that.
I see vaping everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vaping is
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, look at
And
look at
it's-
Poker Face. She's she.
Yeah.
This last episode we watched was about her giving up cigarettes and taking up vaping, and she's vaping all over the place. I don't know if it's a great thing to put on shows.
I know.
Probably not.
No, everyone
and,
used to smoke on TV, and then they outlawed that. They'll outlaw vaping on TV and things like that soon enough.
Very soon.
Well, I know for
yeah.
a
Well,
lot
and
of
it's health-wise,
females,
it's
for a lot of
worse.
females, it's a weight loss. It's keeping
Yeah.
their weight down. Supposedly, it's an appetite suppressant.
Yes,
Yeah,
just like they said on The Simpsons.
I
There's a
love-
reason they're called dancer sticks.
I love having an appetite.
We call it a cigarette salad in dance.
Andy here. What you just saw happen was the result of StreamYard being broken on our stream on the 9th. We don't actually have any way to recover the rest of the video, unfortunately, so what I uploaded just now is all that there is. You can still listen to the full show on our website or our app, but as far as the video goes, there's nothing left. So sorry if you're one of the people who can only watch on YouTube, but this is the first time something like this has happened, and hopefully it won't happen again.